Very funny. Okay, so we have the Acolyte. There's a little bit of news from that, and I saw you covered it the other day, and then Meg followed up yesterday morning. Our friend Aesokas, the new leaker on the scene,
Hey,
who
let me
has
release that stuff. He was
yeah,
pretty nice.
and
Pretty
he's
nice.
shown that he does have some valid sources. So we take because he's brand new on the scene. At first, you got to wonder: is this guy legit, or is he making crap up, or does he, know? But
And what's the
at this point,
longevity of it? Because sometimes you'll have someone who get like one thing right, and then they just run downtown, just blah 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 blah. I know this, I know that, and then they just don't. But he has
yeah,
shown that he has stuff from other things. So yeah,
yeah, we've been seeing that as well. Yeah, Don says as long as you feed and water Bespin, he should be fine.
yeah, he'd be good. He has a dog bowl with some water in it
But
and sleeping
Ahsoka
pills.
has shown that he's got a good start, and unfortunately, he's been in touch with you. He's learning some of
Unfortunately,
the. Well, I think he's learning some of the things that you have learned over time, right? Like you get pieces of information, you try to put them together, and sometimes when you're linking uh, segments of information together, it can get confused, right?
oh
And so
sure,
when he first came out with the first leaks um, from the Tales of the Jedi,
yeah.
some things got mixed. And then he came out and he had to do a retraction. Everything I said before, just throw it away and we'll start over. Here we go. And I
Yeah,
thought, oh, that's perfect.
that's always how it goes when you are given snippets and then it's like you make logical assumptions and it just becomes yeah, and then at one point you have to like go where am I assuming and where am I not, and that's kind of where I'm at with the information that he's been giving on Acolyte is I'm like, what is the contest of Acolyte? Like the fight? Are they going into, like I joke on the show, my show? Are they going into an octagon and fighting, or is it like go assassinate the president of the galaxy, go do this and go do that, and then like how is all of this working? You know what I mean? Like, so we don't. There's stuff about the show we don't actually know that we are taking for granted still, and so I'm looking forward to what Ahsoka's can glean about that stuff.
Yeah. And so the latest one that both of you have covered is there seems to be some content tied to Plagueis. Now, the scope and scale of that is still unclear.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not even clear yet, and maybe you can help me because you've had more conversations with him
Mm-hmm.
on how large or how prevalent will Plagueis's presence be in there? Was it a name drop? Is it like we got in the prequels where have you ever heard
Well,
the story of Darth Plagueis the Wise? Is it going to be a name drop like that?
here's
Or might we get more?
the thing to remember is like the Sith Lords, they're not born Darth Vader. They're not born Darth Sidious. You're like, my name is, Sheev Palpatine. And then, oh, now I'm Darth Sidious. I'm a real tough guy now. So what we have is a character who's a CGI alien that has the characteristics of a Mun or a Mun and is basically in this contest. Our main hero, who's probably codenamed Ara, could be her real name, but shows up, and neither of them on their own is powerful, and she is I think an ex-farmer slash now warrior. She's like a warrior of this village, and then so now she's like going on that path, and then he is the friend who she teams up with, the CGI alien character is um what does it say, like heavy, like a strategy minded, like and uses magic or something like that. So it's like magic and strategy and war. So you can basically have Darth Sidious and Darth Maul. They find that when they come together, everybody else starts just getting destroyed. And it's like, so they are naturally like a Sith pairing, which tells us they're going to likely become the Sith Lords by the end of this this thing. Right? So all of these signs of this being Darth Plagueis are there, but the one thing that he doesn't have is where he says you're Darth Plagueis, and like how it goes, and like it does seem like it is moving towards a story where at the very end, instead of them killing each other, they're loyal to each other, and the Sith Lord messes up and they jump on the Sith Lord and become that. That's where it sounds like the story is going. I don't think he has that confirmed, but that's sort of where we're both at, and that is still an assumption, but that is where the story appears to want to go. But at the same time, it's worth noting that the majority of the stuff that has been dropped is from episodes 1 and 2. The character that is a code name right now, the friend, who we think is Plagueis, doesn't show up, I think, until the end of the 3rd or the start of the 4th episode, I want to say. This is from memory. I think I might be. It's like the 3rd or 4th episode, though. So everything that we've heard so far has been based in the earlier stuff, and that character's not even there yet. But that is sort of what is being teased, and so it it could be a situation too where we don't even know in the first season. I think we will, but it could be a situation where we don't even know if that's Plagueis. They may not get their names in this season. I think they will, but they may not in the first season. We don't know how they intend to elongate the series. Like, is it going to be designed to be a one and done, and then they will do more if it's successful, or is it going to be designed to be 3 seasons almost no matter what? Because it does seem like on the shows that aren't called a limited series, they're being plotted out with multiple seasons if it doesn't say limited series.
Gotcha. Real quick, I did just change the chat to subscriber only mode. So hopefully that gets rid of the bot. Look, I didn't make it members only, just subscribers only. So if you get cut out of the chat and you'd still like to participate, I know we've got a couple of new folks here in the chat. All you have to do is hit that subscribe button. I put no minimum on it, but I don't think the bots subscribe. So if the bot comes back, then I'll adjust it again. So just let everybody know. It's real easy to subscribe to the channel. You just push the button, and that actually helps us out too. So what I'm hearing is that this could end up being another Snoke situation.
It could. It could. I would not say it is. I don't think it's confirmed at all. But do you think they would? I don't know if these filmmakers are in that J.J. Abrams camp of either just not knowing who that is, because that was one of the things back then. I knew it wasn't going to be Plagueis the whole time because I knew that they didn't really know who Plagueis was, and so there was no way that they were going to hinge anything on it. Like that was one of the. I had people at Lucasfilm going, they don't know. And yeah, I'm serious.
Oh boy.
And
boy.
And when they asked Lawrence Kasdan at Comic-Con and he said Darth Vegas, that wasn't a joke. That was dead serious. And
that's unfortunate.
Yeah. So, but Leslie Headland does know the books. I think
she does.
And so I have to say I think that's where it's going. And I think that you don't get at Plagueis by making Plagueis the main character. Like Star Wars fans would go right to make the Plagueis TV series, but you know what? They're never gonna get at Plagueis that way. We're always gonna go and then make a new character and have that be how we get to that person. So I think that it has a lot going for it.
Well, I will say that, and poor X-Wing, man, today he'll be angry for the rest of the day. First, we start with the Lego content, and now you tell him that they had no clue who Plagueis was. So now he's like extra mad. And just to kind of follow what you just mentioned about Leslie Headland. Leslie Headland is a Star Wars sweaty. right? She has played the games, she's played the board games, she's read the books, she follows many of the content creators who create podcasts. She is deep into Star Wars canon and Star Wars legends. So I think that she has a great deal of interest in perhaps bringing in Plagueis, and that the series is intentionally set in that time frame to do so. And I think that the likelihood of it being Plagueis is higher than Snoke of being Plagueis. Let me put it out.
Yeah. Well, and like I love the just like when I'm hearing about the show, the thing I can't stop thinking about is this idea that our main character may become sort of best buds with Plagueis, and I'm just gonna guess, because it's called the Acolyte, that Plagueis is gonna become the Sith Master and she will become the apprentice, because Plagueis already has like the strategy down. Once Plagueis gets the ability to shoot lightning from his fingertips, kind of the master at that point. You know what I mean? And or whatever, you know, and once they have like that physical power, they already have the mental power and fortitude. But is that the fact that her sister though is a Jedi? That's the coolest thing ever, because that's what just puts that conflict there that can't be removed. And it's like the old Star Wars thing of that's the part that the Sith Lord is never going to be able to like remove that familial bond. And I think that's like really exciting story potential for the series.
Excellent. Meg is everybody who has been around here is well aware of me always dissing on Plagueis. I think so they're giving me a hard time about Plagueis being my favorite piece of Star Wars content, because I troll on everybody who predicts that every character that's being introduced into a new series, that's going to be Plagueis. So it started with Snoke, and then it's carried on and on and on. People keep saying, I heard that this character is going to be in the next show, and everybody will say, I'll bet it's Plagueis. And so I'm always trolling on it, and so it's the same thing here, where it's like, all the signs look to Plagueis, and so of course I'm going to troll on that, because as people have noted, I've read the Plagueis novel. I was so interested in who Darth Plagueis is that I read the novel titled Darth Plagueis, because everybody says, that's one of the best novels out there. I love it. I'm like, good. I'll finally learn who this guy is. If you read Plagueis thinking that you're going to learn about Plagueis, you'd be wrong. It's not about Plagueis. It's about Sheev Palpatine. You get cameos from Plagueis who drops in from time to time, but it's more like a side character than the actual main character of the book.
Yeah, but it's kind of like it's the old problem that Star Wars has with naming a title after one character, when every single Star Wars thing ever is an ensemble. Even bait and switch. Diego Luna. Diego Luna yesterday is like it's called Andor, but it shouldn't be, because I'm not the only character in this. Like, and it's like same thing with every single Star Wars thing ever, you know. But I mean, you do learn like about like there was cool stuff in there. It's just the problem is that it was all through Palpatine that you get at him, and that's how they're always going to do it, because you can't really like what are you going to do? Like how would you do that narrative? Like, woke up today hiding from the Jedi still. We've been hiding for 1,000 years, but we're going to get those guys. You know what I mean? It's just like everything always has to be. It would just, you learn about his plan, and that's kind of what it is. Like in that book, but I think he's cool in the book. Like when they are like, they capture like what's the Cantina band member? Not guys call it the Bith or whatever, and they're just like killing him and like resurrecting him like over and over again. And then as each time they like bring him back, he's like a little crazier. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. Like it was fun.
Yeah.
It was weird. And I was kind of into that, like that aspect of it, but it would have been better marketed as being young Palpatine on that story. Right. I'm with you there.
Yes, it's more about Palpatine, him coming up, studying under Plagueis, increasing his power, mentoring under Plagueis, but Palpatine is the main character of the book.
Yeah,
he is the central character to the book, and Plagueis is involved into the scope of how he helps Sheev come along, but it's not really about him. Like I mentioned, he's more of a side character, supporting character to Palpatine. So
one last thing of note to another Plagueis connection is the Sith Lord that we're introduced to in the Acolyte series is an arms dealer who sells arms to the bandits that come and kill her, that come and wipe out her village.
Oh,
and that's one thing from the book that we learn in the Plagueis novel is that Plagueis is in the arms business, and war is where he makes his money, and so causing a war is in the Sith's best interest, and probably likes doing it. It's extra fun, and it's making money doing what you love, you know, and that's what Plagueis does. And so I think that they're setting up where the Sith Lords has that business and is going to bring them into it, basically. And I think we're going to see, maybe we might even see how Plagueis gets his job.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Well, that would be good.
Yeah,
that would be good. So Asher McJeremy asked a question. The Acolyte takes place before the Phantom Menace. It takes place like 100 years before. In the book Shadow of the Sith, Luke mentions them in a post Return of the Jedi world. Mentions who? Mentions the Acolytes of the Sith.
I think he's thinking that the Acolytes that of the Sith that we had in the Aftermath books are the same as the Acolyte in the series, and it's two different things. I think that's. Yeah. Am I correct in that? That's my.
Yeah, assumption. I was going to bring that up. So the Acolyte, there's been some. So we have Acolytes of the Sith who are not. How do you put, like, Sith Lords, right? They're not Darth something, right? They're just if you think of it in terms of Christianity, you had the apostles of Jesus. Those are the 12: Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, right? All those. Those are the 12 apostles, and then you also had Jesus's followers, right? So you had maybe hundreds or thousands of followers. Those are more in line with who the Acolytes are, right? Than the Darth Plagueis or Darth Sidious, right? So when they mention the Acolytes of the Sith in this series being called Acolyte,
Acolytes of the Beyond is what he's thinking.
Oh, Acolytes of the Beyond. Okay.
Acolytes of the Beyond, also known as Acolytes, were a Sith cult of dark side fanatics who came to prominence during the early years of the New Republic, blah, blah, blah. After the death of Darth Vader during the Battle of Endor, the Acolytes of the Beyond emerged and followed the Sith religion and purchased what they believed to be the fallen Dark Lord of the Sith lightsaber. That's kind of like that was the big moment that we all got from them. But it's a different thing. These are Sith. This is like Sith candidacy, as opposed to, and maybe that becomes that. I don't know, but
that's what I've been wondering about it up to this point, and it seems like this is we use the term like the Hunger Games, right? It's the Sith Hunger Games, where you're going to take an acolyte and make them a Sith, right? Like a Sith Lord. So
a couple years ago, if you want to make a girl in college really mad, call it the Hungry Games. They hate that. It's so funny to do it, though. I can't help myself. Are you reading the Hungry Games? Did you say Hungry Games? Yeah, the Hunger Games. It's called the Hunger Games. Oh, okay. So how's the Hunger Games? Makes me laugh.
Right. This is funny too, Meg. I wonder if anybody coming on Disney Plus think Andor's about the Ewoks, right? Andor, get it?
Yeah.
No, so I've been wondering what's the context
it's called
of
the Andalorian. That's what we'll start saying eventually. You guys see the Andalorian last night? Yeah.
Yes, very good. I've been wondering about this title, the Acolyte, and understanding that we have like acolytes of the beyond, acolytes of the Sith, acolytes not being the same as like a Sith.
I'm Kira. Oh, sorry, Meg. That's what I do every time. Sorry, I can't help myself.
I've got this shirt my daughter got me. I love it. It's
oh, nice. Pew pew.
It's but it was raised to my attention that pew can have two different meanings behind it. It can be pew, right, or it can be pew pew, right,
or it could be that thing at church,
right, or it could be a thing you sit on at church, right. So, but I love the shirt. All right, so yeah, I've been curious about that title being the Acolyte. What's the context of that? Acolyte of what? Acolyte of the Sith.
Mm-hmm.
Presumably,
yeah, it's Acolyte of the Sith, because what happens is the main character ends up getting to this place and then realizes, I have to contend with all of these other people. I'm not the only one. There's other people here that I have to fight if I want this position. So,
X-Wing, do not help Meg. Meg doesn't need your help.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are killing